Right, g'day everybody. Welcome to today's FTX scan. Yep, proudly sponsored by FTX. We're going to go through and scan the whole PERP list and see just what we've got to attack this week. You've got me, Craig Cobb from TRADERCOBB.com. And if you don't have your FTX trading account just yet, please, in the description below, you'll find 10% off your trading fees with FTX, and it's well worth doing. More money in your pocket is a good thing. So, back into the office now with all my screens. Very happy to be here. And last week, we'll start with our top 10 here. Please also, if you do like this content, hit the like button, subscribe, turn on your notifications, and if you do want to help us out, then sharing and obviously hitting that like button is a really good way to do so. So thank you very much for all that have been doing that. Okay, so last week we saw Bitcoin close up 8%. It did sell off towards the back end of the week. If you have a look here, we went from up here to closing here. So we came back about 7.5%, 7%-ish, that sort of thing. And we're just hanging around that $20,000 mark. Now, one of the things that needs to be really considered is this. I've spoken of it before, and I'll speak of it again. Last time we saw this big fall, we went from 40, we clung around 40 for a while, then we went lower high, and we went down. We consolidated at 30 for quite some time, tried to push ourselves into an uptrend, and then went down as the downtrend, kicked in on the daily. We saw that heavy selling culminating in Bitcoin dipping to its lowest point in many years. Below, 17,578 is the low that we hit. Now we seem to have a little bit more movement. We are going up a little bit and then down a bit, excuse me, then back up again. Last week was kind of like this. This was the movement. We had some good positive days, and it actually gave us some really good trading opportunities. I got long ETH and Solana, both being good profits. Nothing massive because the runners weren't really there. I explained how I was attacking the market on my podcast, the Trader Cobb Crypto Show, as well as with members in a video in my trading community. I just also got some information from Lou, who's been, for those of you who have done my Become a Master course, by the way, and you are now eligible to become a member of our Trader Cobb community, which is where you get 6 videos per week from myself and my team. Watch list, educational content, that sort of stuff. But also, you get to just communicate with other people that are trading those strategies, my apprentices, my mentors, myself. And he's now going through and looking at people's trading plans, which is an additional benefit and bonus in there. We're just trying to find ways to continue to engage you guys and make you make you better at what you're doing, and just going through everything in detail. So the last few days we saw Bitcoin coming off, yesterday being down 3.4% or thereabouts, and today we're down another 1.5. Again, we are above 20,000 at 20,500, but it's not looking all that strong. Having a look at the 2-day, yes, we have a higher low and a higher high. Bearish candle breaking down. Again, no real strong direction in here. What I'd like to see is a Bitcoin to set a higher low again and a push up through this high, giving us another week or so of upside would be really, really nice from here. Why? Why the preference to the upside? Well, simply because there is a daily uptrend there. It's not the nicest of daily uptrends, got to say, but it is with a higher low and a higher high. So therefore, it is a good option. I mean, it's a better option if we continue to move high because we'll have the daily with us. And looking at the weekly, each week that we don't really move too far, these moving averages come closer down, which means that the probability or the room for that relief rally, which we have still not seen really based on the weekly, is diminishing. With our 10-period moving average here, it's 25,000. It's not got too far to move into that range. Of course, the upper end of it's at 30,000. That'd be nice. But we are waiting to see what goes on. There is still very strong resistance up here at that $30,000 mark or thereabouts. So it'd be interesting to see what happens from here. Again, it's not really showing too many signs of moving higher at this stage, but until we break down through this low, we still do have the higher low here and a higher high here. A little pullback and a move higher. That's what I really, really like to see. So at the moment, it's really just about timing your entries, timing it based on what the market's doing. It was through this period here that the money was made last week, and it was great. 2 trades, and it happened to be a day that I got to go fishing as well in the afternoon with the old man, and came back and got a trade at 6 p.m. and had one on from earlier. It was a very, very good little week, to be honest with you. Now we see Bitcoin pulling back. We do have ourselves back in that cradle zone, but a fairly deep and long-winded pullback without the nicest of trend, in, if I'm honest with you guys. So nothing really there on this just yet. There is a 4-hour downtrend with the lower highs coming in, so there is the potential for shorts, but again, as we come to the 2-hour, there's a lower high to low, but I'd like to see it stream away a little bit further before I would be looking really strongly for short trades. As you can see, it's a little bit messy in here. I want to see some clarity. I want to see some strong direction. So nothing really there just yet on Bitcoin. Across the top 10, we are down, and now let's have a look at our PERP list here with FTX. My focus is going to be on the direction of trend and looking for good cyclicity. There is a downtrend here on 1 inch, but there's no real, again, we've pulled in, nice little cradle here with a move, but then this big spike sort of threw us out a little bit. AVE, ooh. It doesn't look too bad right here. Oh, sorry, g'day, Will. Hope you're well, mate. If this candle was a little bit further into here, I'd be very keen on that. We'll just see if there's any levels starting to set up. Not quite just yet. So I'm going to leave AVE for the time being. A little lower high on the 4-hour. The 8-hour here, as you can see, there is a bullish candle there. I would prefer to see it coming in a little bit further. If you can see here on the 16, we don't really have a clear pullback. So I am going to leave AVE for the time being. Cardano having this lower high and lower low. Nice little move to the downside now. Problem we've got is if it was a pullback from here, we'd get a cradle somewhere up in here, and that would be a very deep pullback. I like that really nice cyclical bouncing ball type move, so I'm not going to be able to really get too interested or involved here on Cardano just yet. I'll go to the 15 even. It's trying, but again, it's not really what I'm after at this stage. Algo. Again, a bit messy through here. I'm not looking for that messiness. I want nice, steady moves so that I can find those positions and just sort of feed off of what's already occurring. The cyclicity is really valuable. It's so important to wait for those moments where there are opportunities like I did last week. Have a quick look at Alpha. Oh man, I got the driest lips, winter. 2-hour. Lower high, lower low. Getting closer here on Alpha. 4 hours in the right order. Look, I'll pop it in for now. I'm going to take Cardano out. There is the potential here that if it does slowly come in, it means the moving averages will have come down a bit more, and we might actually get something on that, but it's going to take a little bit of time. I might take that out at the end. We'll just see what we've got there and how cluttered the list is. I don't like having a cluttered watch list with too many options if they're not really good. Yeah, we got here on alt. Oh, why does that do that? There we go. Divergent on these lows on altcoin index, so I'll go past that. Ample fourth, coming off quite nicely. Got very messy up here, and it looks a little bit thin. Yeah, it is a little bit thin. I'm probably not so inclined with ample fourth. Look at the MACD. It's just gone straight to from the highest point to the lowest very, very quickly. That's a wild looking chart. The daily might present something tomorrow perhaps. So I'm going to keep an eye on that tomorrow, but not right now. Anchor, I can leave that too. Ape, a little bit of cyclicity coming here. It might look good in the 2 actually. There is a lower high. Let's check that 1 hour. Yeah, this is looking okay. Nice pullback, nice fall. Again, if it slowly pulled back into here, I'd be keen to keep an eye on that. Again, it doesn't mean I'll take a trade. It just means that it's got something there that I'm willing to consider. And this is just too thin on this AdSendex. Straight lining here on Atlas, so I'll leave that too. Atom appears to be holding on that support for the time being, so I want to see that break before I would look for any shorts. Again, we're seeing a couple of charts like this where, yeah, we've had a nice pullback and a move to break to a new lower low, but I want to see the lows, I want to see it run away a bit more. I want to see it stream off a little bit further. That way, what I would have is I would have the opportunity for the pullback coming into the cradle zone, but not too deep. If it were to come back now, we'd be somewhere up in here, and it's just too deep for me. So again, if we do see the market leg down further, that's when I'll be starting to sort of sink my teeth into it a little bit more and really hunt for those opportunities. Sure, we'll find a few more that have already done that sort of step down. Band again, there's not enough trend there on that 4 to really warrant me being interested. But okay, let's go lower here, because we do, although it's messy through here, we do certainly have momentum to that downside. We'll go lower again. That 60-minute, that trend is there. Lower high, lower high, lower lower. Pull back in if it's smooth and nice. That could be good later on. I'll check the 30 there as well. No, a little bit too messy on the 30. It's definitely the 1, possibly the 2. Probably the 1, to be honest with you. Bitcoin Cash. Yeah, again, it's got to push itself further down for me to really be interested there further. BitTorrent's still a bit stuck, so too Binance. I don't like the chart structure here. Look how spiky these charts are. You know, we've got these, actually not sure if they're big candles in terms of percentage-wise. Yeah, they're definitely big candles. There are lots of them too. Lots of very big wild moves here on Bankor, probably quite thinly traded. Yeah, that's the issue, is that it can be bounced around quite easily with low liquidity. And again, a lot of this stems from the fact that a lot of these daily charts just do not have that flow that we like to have. Here on Coin98, we go high to low. I'm not interested there. Quick look on the 2 here on Cake. How thinly traded are we? Not too terrible. Okay, so I'm looking again here, lower high, lower low, pull back into this region here, could be all right. Hey, 2 hour with the trend there, not the cleanest though in the 4. Just seeing if there's any levels around here that we could sort of shore up for. I'm probably going to leave Pancake Swap out for the time being, just not quite what I'm after there again. Again, a little bit. Not quite what I'm after there on Cello. We're just sort of in that no man's land. We've had that run up, and now we're just pulling back slowly, just a slow grind back in. I like to see the momentum of the market. It just makes it so much more predictable. Oh, excuse me. Chili's is up. Let's see what that looks like on the daily. Ugh, not much to look at there at all. Okay, lots of spiky candles. It does that sometimes. I'm going to leave it. Clover. Stepping down with low liquidity, not really one for me. Let's have a look at Compound on the 8 hour here. Might be a big candle. Yeah, it's not really. Still stuck around. Look at this old support. How I always talk in my courses of old support can become new resistance and vice versa. We can see this old support with a beautiful breakdown. That big profits could have been made there with that breakout. Hit there, sold off again, and it's been really struggling ever since. So I'm going to leave that for the time being. If we do push above, perhaps we could find something, but it's going to take quite some time on those higher time frames. G'day, Winston. I'm all right, mate. I am all right. Very keen to see my kids. I've been away for the week, and I am very much looking forward to seeing the little munchkins. Not much going on there on Kronos either. I'll leave that. CRV, I'll check the 12, but I don't know if there'll be enough there for me. No, very deep pullback. It's more the daily here on CRV. Look, you can see it here. It's quite a long, drawn out, higher low to higher high, but it's in an uptrend. Perhaps tomorrow on the daily that could present opportunity, but right now for me, no. Civic, totally sideways. That's ugly. Dash, again, not as much movement or momentum there. Dawn, too thin. DeFi, not there now. That was one from last week. I think it was a 2 hour cradle. It was over here. That was the trade. That was the move. Do I reckon I'll see another new low in this cycle? Oh, look, it's really hard to say, but I wouldn't be surprised if we did see them. If we did see further lows in this cycle, it would not surprise me, but it also wouldn't surprise me if we held 20,000. There's just a lot of external factors going on right now in the global scene, equities and Obviously, interest prices going up, or interest rates, sorry, going up. Inflation being an issue now as well. There's a lot of factors, and it just makes it so much more difficult because the environment, financial environment, isn't as stable as what it was. So it could so very easily head lower. Very, very, very easily it could move lower. That's why I'm just going to follow the daily trends. I've been doing that for a while. Well, not just the daily, but the 4 hour as well. Just looking to see, is there momentum? And wherever that momentum is, because I'm trading, I'm not looking to just hodl. Because I'm trading, I've got the opportunity to do exactly that, just to wait, find the direction, and take advantage of that direction, be it long or short. Here's another one we haven't moved far enough down. You know, a little pullback into here. I wouldn't like the cyclicity enough. I'd like to see it extend a bit further. And the 4 hour, not really the strongest of downtrends. A little pullback there, but again, I want to see a little bit more action. I can leave DYDX as well. Eden's coming off, but it's very thinly traded. Elrond, I'd say on the 2 needs to step down a bit further. It hasn't really had a serious pullback, so I'll be leaving that as well. Engine, again, no real momentum. So you can see when you've got a chart that's like this, you know, it's moved a bit up, bit down, bit up, but there's no real, I mean, we're starting to get a bit of momentum to the downside, but not with that really nice cyclicity and trend that I do thrive in. When we do get trends, I find it very easy to find good opportunities. When we don't have trends, the very nature of the strategies that I teach and I become a master course is to make it nice and simple to follow those trends. If we don't have trends, then the whole purpose of those strategies being the way they are is that we don't want to be trading when there are no trends. So you won't find as much when we don't have good trending conditions, and that's the way it should be. You don't want to have strategies where you're chopped in and out all the time. You want to wait until the opportunity to make money is there and then go forth and do your trading. Otherwise, you know, yes, you're taking lots of trades, but the aim of the game is not to take lots of trades, it's to take good trades and profit from the market. So that's why they're set up that way. With EOS here, again, I'd like to see it move further. A little blip there, so we'd have to work the 2, and the 2 not quite how I want to see it just yet, not extending itself out well enough for the moment. Again, lower high, lower low, but not the strongest of lows. I'd like to see it move more to the downside to really solidify that trend and that momentum. Now, ETH, this was the trade I took last week as well, back off of that level, and then since it's gone back all the way and some more. So profits have been taken, job done, move over. Now, what do we have to the downside? Again, we need to extend ourselves further there on that 2. The 4 hour does have a downtrend, but not with enough momentum or cyclicity there on that 2 for me to really trade. Wow. Solid day there, but we're coming back very, very hard and fast. It seems to be that a lot of these moves to the upside are being met by very aggressive selling back down, and that is a concern. So coming back to the question around whether or not we'll see new lows this cycle, all I can do is look at the way the market's reacting. For us to not see new lows, or for us, I shouldn't say that, for us to see strength back in the market, we need to see these sorts of things now start to move up again. And until we start to see that momentum shift back to the buyers, it's a very real possibility. Flamingo's a bit of a mess there all over the shop with some very large candles coming into play. I'm going to leave that. Flow, not enough trend there. Phantom, again, a bit of a mess. FTT, a very strong run up and a very strong run back off, but with no real definition, no real good looking trend in my opinion. I'll jump straight to the 1 hour here. Again, we just don't have, you know, we do have convergence, we do have a downtrend, but a pullback into here, am I looking to short that? I'm really not. I'm really not. Don't forget, patience is the superpower of the trader. Being patient and knowing when to act is so crucial. And for the moment, I'm not seeing a huge amount of, you know, signs to say this is a very good time to be trading. And keep in mind that last week was very much the same until we saw that move and there was plenty of long positions available. Got in there, got the move, got the trades. I was looking to take first target 1-to-1, second target I think I took one at 3-1, and then I left a runner for the last little portion because the market hasn't been following through to the upside, especially with its momentum. So that's why I've sort of changed my trading plan slightly for these conditions to make sure that I am, if I do get a move, that I am locking in profits. Even if they're only small profits, still a lot better than not locking in those profits when they're available. And that's a really big focus of mine at the moment. The problem I'm going to have here with this internet computer, I mean, yeah, there's a bullish candle right there, but I don't think the 16 hour is going to have a trend there. Now we got like a single pullback. It's not really it's not good enough for me there. Again, I'm left wanting more. It's pulled back to a good spot, you know, back in through those old highs through there. I mean, it's a good spot. It just doesn't really have much of a trend. So I won't let temptation get the better of me there, that's for sure. IOST can come out now. And here we see another one. You know, we got a higher low and a higher high, and then a pullback into here. That could have been tradable, but it's just kept on going. Too deep, too deep. A lot of volatility around there as well. I want to see these moves move higher, come back in, setting a nice higher low, a solid higher low, then move again. It's a little bit too congested there for me on IOTA. These are just straight lines, no interest there, no interest here. Actually, we'll have a quick look on the 8. It's a pretty messy looking chart. I'll jump to the 1, but the 4's not really all that strong. It's not a bad trend though. 4 hour. A little bit of a lower high, but again, it's just not really that clear. I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to be forced into positions just because they're moving. I know exactly what I'm looking for. I'm looking for good cyclicity, solid trend, and that's the bottom line. Without it, I'm really not interested in racing back in. I'm happy to hold back, keep the profits that I've got, and wait for the next opportunity to win. I can leave Link as well. Looks just, again, a mess, just a straight fall. A little bit of cyclicity coming through here on looping. Let's go and inspect the 2. Where you can see pull back in, move away, pull back, move away. Again, it does fall into the bracket, though, that I'd like to see it move further. I mean, you look at this, right? We set a low, nice clean pullback, very strong move to the downside, clearing these lows very, very well. Then it gives room for the pullback to be in and around the old lows, which is kind of, it's not a rule, but it's nice to see. Here, what we've got is we've got a deeper pullback in, still a decent move, but we haven't cleared the lows quite as well. So a pullback at this stage would be somewhere up into here, and it just doesn't have that same level of confidence, in my opinion. Don't forget, I've been doing this for like 17 years now, so I do have a fairly good handle on exactly what I'm looking for when conditions are a little bit, well, I know what I'm looking for. If it's either the conditions are good or they're not. And right now, they're not screaming out to me. On most charts anyway. Matic a bit erratic. Oh, that rhymes. I can leave mid-perp there. Again, we need to see further downside for that to really capture my attention. Same with Mina. No. Not good enough there on Maker. So what we're seeing at the moment is really a prime example of the sort of markets to be very cautious within. I'll check that 1. See, this doesn't look so bad. Why? Well, clean pullback, very good lows. A pullback into here could be good, but I've just got to confirm it on the higher time frames because the 2 does have a little lower high, and you know that I like to trade in the direction of the 4-hour trend. Here we have high to low, so that's going to cut itself out. I'm not interested in that. I want to see the 4-hour with a trend in motion. Again, another one, OMG. It's close, but it's just a little congested. I want to see these things moving out a little bit more. Wow, look at that. How does it look on the daily? Well, not great. But that 4-hour, There's no arguing. There's an uptrend, higher low, higher high. We're back in that cradle zone. That 8's going to back that up too, I believe. Yeah, we've got trend there. That could be an option for an upside for a long later on. Of course, it will depend on how that candle closes, but that's getting a bit closer. Oxy's just thin and very volatile at the moment. It can leave gold. People's a bit of a bust. Same here with these big spiky candles. No interest there. Polis. Let's see the 16. It's not going to, no, there's no uptrend on the 16, so that's going to rule the 8-hour out, but there is an 8-hour trend. So the 4-hour here, excuse me. I've got a rule that states if it's not clear, it's not there. Right now, it's a little bit messy through here. Sure, we do. Actually, we go lower high to no. Yeah, okay, there we go. I'm always looking for reasons. Excuse me. I'm looking for reasons to not trade. Right. Anything that comes up that's worthwhile or something to not have in the watch list. If I do see the trend being worthwhile, I'll put it in the watch list. In this case, we do have a lower high to lower low there. Therefore, a bit of a downtrend. Not ideal, is it? It's just not got, and then we run up in a straight line, pulling back in. Yeah, sure, it could move higher from here, but again, I'm looking for certain cyclicity in the market, and if it's not going to give me what I want, I'm not going to partake. Another shame here with radium. You know, we pulled back, we moved higher, we pulled back, we had the bullish candle, we didn't break the high, we broke the low, taking it out of the equation, pulling back too deep now. Reef I'd like to see move a bit further. It's also a little bit thinly traded at the moment, as you can see through here. So I'm going to leave Reef off the list as well. Jump up to the 8 here on Ren. Not satisfactory there for me. I'm not interested in that. Lower high here on the 4 on reserve right. Starting to stream away. Let's move lower and see what we've got there. No, it's not enough for me. Again, it's just, it is selling off, but without that cyclicity, it's not really of interest to me. And that could certainly change, but because we're looking at the lower timeframes for the most part, what I am looking to see is, you know, if we do see, like if we see the market fall on the 2% from here, let's say for example, that's when a scan would be a perfect time to come back and do another scan, because then we're going to have a lot more of these, especially the 2 hours, you know, having broken away a bit further and therefore opening us up for those potential pullbacks for the cradle trade. Now, of course, if you are through the Become a Master course, you can also add into that little breakouts, and you can add into it boosters. That's once the momentum continues to push through, of course. Serum is sort of big wild on the daily. I'm going to be leaving that alone. There's a bullish candle right there on Shiba, but not the cleanest of trend. You look at the 16, you're also going to see it's not fantastic. It's a little bit stuck. So another one I'll be leaving. Often, though, the reasons for leaving a trade are just as equally, or I will definitely say they are equally as important as reasons to take a trade. Because we're working from the same checklist, right? The same rules and you know, methodology. Solana was a last week trade for me. Got a little bit of profit out of that, not a huge amount. Let's see how it looks here on the 2, because we do have a little bit of a downtrend starting to play itself out. Bearish candle right there. We've moved away nicely. I'd like to see it move further though, so I'm not going to be putting Solana in. That's too thinly traded. Spell's just, what can I say about that? I mean, spiky, messy, not very attractive at all. Serum's just in this wild, massive move up, then back down we go. Look how messy it's been for a while now. I mean, it's been grinding lower, but it's been doing it in such a messy way. I'm more inclined to be trading during these periods of momentum and volatility than the current model, which is just a bit of a mess. This would look a lot better if it didn't have this spikiness here. But have a look. Quick pullback, bullish candle, move. Quick pullback, bullish candle, move. It's just getting a little bit too wild up here now. I will hit the 2 just quickly. Yeah, and there you go. This is why I use multiple time frames. It really opens it up and just shows the volatility is coming in. I mean, you got a big candle here. You got another big candle over here. Big candle over here. It's a little bit too erratic for me, and that's what I was sort of picking up on the 4 here as well. That being said, if it did necessarily, it's just not this sideways movement. I like a clean pullback like this. Here we've moved up and we went sideways for a bit. We didn't really clear too well from this consolidation. It's just not, again, that bouncing ball theory that I have, it's just not providing me with that. Swipe could be all right on the 1 if it pulled back up a little bit further in. I'll keep an eye on that throughout the afternoon. Quick look at Theta on the 1. There is a little lower high here and here. Not much. Again, not the cleanest. The 1 hour is okay. If it pulls into there again, I wouldn't mind that. So that's going to go in. Starting to get a bit of a list together now. It is all the lower time frames for the time being, though. Tomo can come out. Had a nice move last week, but no real cyclicity there. This is a very messy pair, this thing. It bobbles around all the time. Again, big candles, spiky candles. I believe low liquidity. Yeah, fairly low. Not too bad, but again, it's not going to make it into my list for today. Tron, no trend at all there really on that 4. Uniperp's tried. It's come in. Sadly, it's a big candle there. This is what I'm after. Clean pullback, bullish candle move. Don't have that currently. Quick check of the 8. And again, I just don't see enough of the cyclicity and trend there for me to really work with. Ooh, waves. Kind of got a height. Yeah, no, it's not. Again, it's not got that enough yet. If it legged down further, sure, I'd be open to it. Monero with a bit of a bounce today, but nothing really to sink my teeth into. XRP the same. A lot of messy charts right now. Even if we're seeing some, potential upside, a bit more momentum to the upside, we're still seeing a lot of congested market moves. That's what I mean by that is over a large period of time like this, we're not really going anywhere, and we're just getting big candles without really moving properly, if that makes sense. Quick dive to the 1 hour here on Yearn. Well, if that keeps going, this is the sort of thing I'm looking for. Little bearish channel just like that. I want to see it move further, then pull back. So again, possibly for later. And we're back at the top with Bitcoin. Now, over that period of time, what have we seen? We've seen it sell off a little bit, but again, nothing really too fantastic. So what have we got? What have we got? Well, we've got Bitcoin pulling away, streaming off. We've got a bit of a trend here on the 1 hour. Again, I want to see it move lower before I would look for. I'm more than happy to short Bitcoin, but I do want to see it extend more, give more cyclicity. That's where I'll be interested. Alpha. You can see here, if this was to pull back in slowly, as in, the next couple of candles, where these moving averages get to catch up a little bit, a sweet, small pullback, that could really end up being something quite nice. As you can see through here as well, look. Bit of a region of support with resistance over here, support. If we pull into there, that's definitely worth keeping an eye on. Ape, again, that we do have 1 hour cyclicity, a nice slow pullback, much the same as what I just explained for Alpha. Back into the cradle zone for a bearish candle later could be worthwhile. Bat's got some proper good momentum to the downside, and you can also see it here in the 4 hour. Look, the 4 hour, the trend's not. It's not a wonderful 4 hour trend, but I can definitely say that there is one there, and we do have momentum to the downside. So that 1 hour does come into play. What are we looking at here? That was the 4 hour, wasn't it? Yeah. This could turn small and bullish, and if it does, it's got a beautiful trend. It's got back up by the 8 hour. It fits those rules for the cradle, so I'm keen to keep an eye on one. Swipe. We go back to the 1 hour time frame again, a pullback into this zone region, this area in here to continue that downward momentum could be good. And finally, Theta, very similar here, of course, selling off now, but if it digs itself a little bit of a climb back up into here, that could be worthwhile for a short later as well. So got to be honest, guys, it is a little bit messy still out there right now. After last week's push to the upside, we are selling off, but are we doing it with any real momentum? Are we doing it with any real clout? No, and we're also doing it without the Bitcoin daily uptrend. Well, the daily isn't an uptrend. Don't be fooled though. I definitely can see the market falling further. I'm just waiting to see what we get in the regards of, in regards to good trend cyclicity. So be safe out there. Manage your risk, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to like this video. Please subscribe and share it with your friends. If you haven't already got your FTX account, the description below will give you that right away. Have a great day and jump across to TRADERCOBB.com. And if you haven't gone on the Become a Trader course, or better yet, become a master, then now's a pretty bloody good time to do it, because we can make money whether we go up or we go down. Have a great afternoon. It's great to be back in Sydney. Well, it's great to be back at my desk. Have a great day, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon. Cheers, guys. Bye for now.